Good morning. So, one of the main goals of yoga practice, like asana practice, postures, is when you're in the middle of a practice, if you enter into a difficult pose, you learn to soften, to relax, to breathe through it, and to stay in the pose. You don't hit a challenging pose and then go, oh my God, I have to get out of this, and like run out the door or fight the pose. You soften into it, you relax into it, and you breathe through it. And asana practice has its place in purifying the body, purifying the energy channels, purifying the blood, the lymph, all of these things. And it has another benefit in helping us to work with our mind and our emotions and really serve as a tool for how do we take this asana practice off of the mat and bring it into real life. Because ultimately, one of the ultimate things that the asana practice is teaching us is how to relax, how to let go. Because what we do in our everyday life, you're driving down the road and you're in a car and you come upon somebody who starts driving 10 miles an hour and it's a 30-mile-an-hour zone and you can't get around them because it's maybe a 2-lane or 1-lane, deal. You can't get around them. There's other cars flying by. How are you going to handle that? That's your challenging pose. That's your asana where, you're in asana class and you can't get out of it. Are you going to run out the door figuratively in your mind? Are you going to fight it? I mean, if you're in class, are you cussing and screaming at the person, at the teacher for putting you in that pose? No, we don't do that. We know when we're in asana class, we breathe, we relax, we handle it. We learn to handle it. And we allow the experience to flow through us. And that's the same thing when you're sitting in traffic and you've got the person in front of you. You learn to handle it. You learn to stop. You learn to breathe. You learn to let go. You soften your muscles. You soften everything. You soften into it. And that's what we do. Stuff in life is going to happen. Things are going to come in that are going to hit our stuff, and it's going to make us uncomfortable, and we're going to feel uncomfortable. How do we handle those uncomfortable moments? Do we fight? Do we want to run away? Do we want to push that experience away from us? Or do we soften? Do we realize that we've got stuff coming up and we soften our muscles? That's one of the first things you do whenever we have things that bother us. We tense. So the first thing you can do is soften. Soften your muscles. Soften your mind. Breathe deep and say, I can handle this. I can handle this too. I have handled other things before. I can handle this too. And then when you soften and you allow the experience to be there and you work with it, you co-participate with it, then the experience is allowed, the energy is allowed to move through you. It doesn't get trapped inside of you. If you don't allow the experience to move through you, then the experience gets trapped inside of you. And then you develop what we call in yoga a samskara. It's literally a scar on the self. Sa is the self. And so you develop this scar on the self that is a wound, and it's going to have to come up again. Another opportunity comes by. Somebody else is driving slow. You get triggered once again really, really easily. So if we're following the loving path, if we're following the path of surrender and love of our own selves, then loving yourself also means letting go and surrendering, because you're choosing your own personal peace and love over something that could disturb you and cause you to shut down and close down your heart over it. You're literally choosing in any moment, do I want to allow love to flow through me and peace to flow through me? Because the two are really connected. Shanti, peace, is very intimately connected with love. You know, when you love yourself, then you allow yourself to be peaceful. So in any given moment, am I choosing peace and love? Or am I blocking that experience from myself? And so if we start to think about things this way, if we start to think about that person in that car driving 10 miles an hour as me choosing to block love and peace, you know, me choosing to have an experience that is going to disturb my own peace, because you're the one doing it, not them. Because when you're peaceful inside your own self, you might not even realize they're going 10 miles an hour. You know, in any given moment, it's really all about us. Me, and me. It's really about us. What's going on in here, what's going on in the mind and the emotions in any given moment. I had a friend once that said that she knew that she was disturbed inside when she would start to get mad at the dishwasher. You know? Yeah. Do you get mad at the dishwasher? Do you get mad at inanimate objects? You know, what happens when you're angry? You seem to, you know, catch your shirt on like every door handle, right? And then you yell at it, and you scream at it, and you cuss at it. And it's just because it's inside us. It's not that the door didn't do anything. We did. We always are the ones that do the things. And so we always have the opportunity in any moment to relax, to soften, to let go. That is what the asana is really helping us to do. And then we learn to abide in that energy flow. The more we relax and soften into the energy, it brings up our stuff. And when it brings up our stuff, it's bringing up those samskaras, those held, you know, those held energies, those things that become the scars and the wounds inside of us. It's when you're holding a yoga asana pose, a pose, it's an energetic posture. And so it's going to energetically allow the prana, the energy, to flow through the body, and that's going to bring up stuff. It's going to bring up physical things, right? It's purifying those lines in the body. So it's going to bring up physical discomfort. It's going to bring up emotional discomfort, mental discomfort. And so if you allow yourself to just be present, to soften, to let go, to breathe, then you allow that energy to move through you. You allow the cleansing to happen. You allow the asana and the posture to do its job. And then once you learn to do that, you don't, you know, you can do that anywhere. Life becomes the asana. And you don't need asana practice to learn how to do that. You just have to, the thing that Patanjali says in the Yoga Sutras is practice vairagya, detachment. Abhyasa is practice, and then vairagya is more than just detachment. Vairagya literally means to go away from those things that are causing raga. Raga is the attachment, the passion inside of you. So to move beyond those things is vairagya. So literally means to soften, to let go. That is vairagya. So it's more than just detachment. It's like to soften, to work with it, to let it go. Practice and letting go, practice and letting go, practice and letting go. That is what Patanjali says is like the key to yoga, is to practice letting go. And so we do that in a yoga asana. We do that when we get out of class. We do that. We bring it into our life. We constantly practice letting go. And we say, I'm going to choose love over this. I'm going to choose my peace. If love doesn't really work for you, then choose peace, because peace is something we all understand really easily. We all want to feel peaceful. We all want to feel love, but sometimes it's a little harder to associate this with love. So choose peace. I choose peace over this. I choose peace over getting upset about this. I choose peace over working myself into a tizzy over this. Instead, I'm going to choose to relax. I'm going to choose to surrender. I'm going to choose to allow that energy of peace to flow through me. I'm going to let this experience go so that it can flow through me. It doesn't get trapped inside of me, because whatever gets trapped inside of you is going to have to come back up sooner or later. So really the whole yoga practice becomes a practice in surrender and in letting go. And we just say, I can do this. I can let go of this too. And I can let go of this too. And I can let go of this too. Always choose peace. Choose peace over fighting. Choose peace over anger. Learning to soften, learning to let go.